Hello, welcome to Area 51 Raceway. So there's one thing that's been coming up a lot, and to myself, that how are you going to true your tires is because there's no tire truers available. So what I've done here is, excuse me for hitting the camera, I've gotten a piece of Carrera track, which I have, or you could use any track, and connect it to my power supply. As you can see, I have a positive lead, negative lead. If you do it backwards, just the car will run backwards, so you could just spin it around, or just switch the leads over. And what I've done is I've 600 grit 600 grit sandpaper over my track here, and just taped it with green frog tape, or you could use any tape and scotch tape, just as long as you're holding it on here. And I have the rails powered here, so what I'm going to do is turn on my power supply, and I'm going to true the tires this way. So these are obviously urethane Paul gauge tires. These are the wider ones I use for mods, so I'm just going to do these just as a sample. So let me bring this closer here and kind of see what I'm trying to do here. And I'm going to go ahead, and the power supply is on already, and what I'm going to do is just going to barely touch it, go back and forth. It's at 10 volts, so you can lower it down if you want. And all I'm doing is just you can see you're getting the high and low spots off of here. You can see how many high and low spots. That's why it's important to true them. And obviously these are glued, so they'll go again. And what I'm doing is just getting them smooth, even across the tire. It's kind of a little bit of a crude way, but it's an effective way if you don't have a tire truer, like some of us do. All you're going to do is just keep an eye on the surface of the tire until they come out, just even. Try not to put too much pressure. Just keep going till you make the big mess, and make sure you got something that you can, capture all this stuff, because urethane gets everywhere when you're doing this. And you just pick them up, make sure you're not getting too hot. You don't want to get them super hot, and they're not. So you can see the high and low spots. You just got to keep working it. Give the motor a break there, and you can see you're getting there. It's just taking time. See here, you're getting it all smoothed out. This one needs a little bit more work. You see the high and low spots. So I'm going to give the motor a rest, and then I'll get back at it again in a minute here. There you go, not too bad. That's better than not truing them. Then what you could do is get a, I usually get a piece of, this is drywall paper, and I go on the side here to trim them down, just like so. Just to get rid of the extruding part on the inside of the tire during the molding process. That's what that stuff is. You round it out like that. And as you can see how you got all that off compared to this. There's a difference. Do the same thing again. Screw that off like that. You can see that edge being taken down. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You just want to make it smooth all the way across. So you get rid of that ridge. And then you should go in the corner like that. Get rid of that squared edge. Make it round. Like that. You can do a little bit like that, a little bit like that also. And there you go. Looks pretty decent. And the tires don't get too hot, as you can see. They're not super hot, as long as you're not making it hot. And then give your motor a break. Your motor get a little warm from doing that. And again, it's messy. It'll get a little messy. True, this is the best way to do it. You know, because if you don't have, you know, a certain tool, then you could always make something up to get it done. As you can see, there's all the, and the sandpaper ain't gonna wear out. The urethane will wear out before the sandpaper does, and then you use your little. This is a drywall sandpaper that I put on a file end, or you could use a file. You know, go to your wife and tell her what you need it for. She may look at you weird, but mine doesn't, because she knows what I do. But and that's what you're doing to true the tires, and that's we'll clean them up so you can see what they look like. Be right back. Here we're back at the workbench, and as you can see, tires are nice and trued, and look pretty good. So I mean, you could still true your tires without a tire truer, just basically getting 600 grit sandpaper. And this is a single lane from a Carrera, and whatever track piece you have is what you use, and you just trim them down like I did in the video. And what you're doing is rounding them out, and if you do, obviously, you know, check them with the caliper, make sure you're not cutting one down smaller than the other, which you shouldn't it shouldn't happen if you're doing both at the same time, but hey, you never know. But we'll check them anyway, just to be sure. And so what do we got here? So we got 2.6. Let me get this little 2.6. We got 2.669. I'll check the other one. And about the same right there. 2.669. Yep. You see they have the same tension when you put them on. So you're not, you know. So they're the same size basically. 2.669. So you're good.